TJ, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
War. War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world, but war never changes.
Ah, that Drea burrito chick is some chick that's been stalking me.
In the early days, thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters
I hear
known
she's
as
kind of
vaults.
crazy though, so I don't really want to run her off. It may just
But when
make
they
it worse.
emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant
Hey,
steel
welcome.
door of Vault
Hello,
101
welcome.
slid closed and never reopened. It was here you were born. It is here you will die. Because in Vault 101, no one ever enters, and no one ever leaves.
Alright, now some of this is going to start out pretty much the way New Vegas was. And New Vegas kind of took a lot of this stuff, obviously, but here in the beginning you're being born, so it's going to be a little bit with the whole name
Let's
and the
see.
character and all
Are
that.
you a boy or a girl?
And of course I will choose a girl.
It's a girl? A girl! We've got a daughter, Catherine. A beautiful, healthy baby girl.
Oh, oh, James. We did it. Oh, daughter. Oh, our beautiful daughter.
You've got a bright future ahead of you, sweetie. I'm sure of it. Look at you. Look at you. Hi there. I'm your daddy, sweetheart. Daddy. You're going to need a name, aren't you? Your mother and I have been talking. What do you think about...
Right, now I haven't put a whole lot of thought into this. So I guess I'm just going to take the easy way out. And we'll name it Drea.
That's a good name, don't you think? Fits you perfectly. Looks like they've finished the gene projection. Let's see what you'll look like when you're all grown up.
Alright, now, so yeah, we'll go with Caucasian. Let's see what kind of faces we've got here. There's not an insane amount to choose from. Oh no, they all kind of look like they have mustaches, which is kind of funny. Oh no, that seems to me, I guess, the most Drea looking face, I guess. Let's get some hairstyle going on. see, I kind of like some of the hairstyles. It would be kind of cool to go with some of the hairstyles, but as soon as we put a helmet on, it's not going to matter anymore. Yeah, we'll go with the Wendy the welder. I guess this time we'll give her green hair. That works. Yes.
You're going to look a lot like your dad. See that, Catherine?
Oh, oh, beautiful. Just like her daddy.
Oh my
It's a
God,
big
Emily,
world out
what's
there,
up?
honey,
How you
full
doing?
of all sorts of people. What about you? What kind of person are you going to be?
I always
Just-
do make myself a
Catherine.
woman in these
James.
games.
Catherine! She's in cardiac
I
arrest.
definitely
Start
like looking
compression.
at
Get
chick
the baby out of
characters
here.
much more
Move!
than men
Move!
characters.
1,000. 2, 1,000.
It's
Come
just I
on.
play these games a
Hang on,
lot.
Catherine. Hang on.
Okay? You one thing. We need a doctor, not a deadbeat. Fail to meet my expectations and there will be trouble.
James and his cheery chatter.
Decorations.
May your
Don't
future be
make it
bright.
straight into the light. Will feel you'll hurt your
Just
eyes.
like home.
It's just something you get used to down here.
All right.
Come on over here, sweetie. Come on. Walk
And
to
now
Daddy.
we're a baby.
You can make it. There you go. My goodness, just a year old and already walking like a pro. Your mother would have been so proud. Listen, kiddo, I know you don't like it when Daddy leaves you alone, but I need you to take care of yourself for a minute. You just stay here while Daddy runs to his office. You'll be okay, honey. I'll be back in a bit.
Look at that. I'm a year old and I'm already in jail. They totally named this game after me. Alright, now, here is where we pick our special stats. And this is generally the standard stuff. We'll go to the end here, and it should be easier. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about the charisma aspect, although the animal friend perk would be kind of cool. I'm not really going to worry too much about the charisma on this. I don't want to mess with luck too much because you are going to need luck in this a bit. So we now have 9 points. I'm going to definitely put at least a couple into strength because you need to have some good carry capacity. I'm going to put at least 1 on perception because I want to be able to tell when there's stuff around. We'll put 1 on endurance. We will go ahead and put at least 2 into intelligence because that will give us more points when we level up. And we'll go ahead and put 1 back into charisma. That way everything's at least 6. My strength is 7, my intelligence is 7. I think that's sort of well-rounded other than the charisma, so. Yeah, we'll go with that. Busted.
You are quite the little explorer, aren't you? Serves me right for trying to pen you in. Come on over here. I want to show you something. See that? It was your mother's favorite passage. It's from the Bible. Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. She always loved that. All right, come on. Let's go see if your little friend Amata wants to play.
And now this is going to come into play later. You need to remember this, because this is sort of important.
These experiments.
Don't be a damn fool. The experiment to
Now we'll
prepare.
flash it forward to 10 years old.
Of course I miss her.
Surprise! Stanley, you turned the lights on too fast.
Yes, that is Liam
You
Neeson's
blinded
voice.
the poor kid.
Happy birthday!
Can you believe it? She is growing up so fast.
Happy birthday, honey. I can't believe you're already 10. I'm so proud of you. If only your mother...
Congratulations, young lady. I don't have to tell you how special this day is, do I? Down here in Vault 101, when you turn 10, well, you're ready to take on your first official vault responsibilities. So here you are. As Overseer, I hereby present to you your very own Pip-Boy 3000. Get used to it. You'll be getting your first work assignment tomorrow.
Enjoy your party. You're only 10 once, so have fun.
Oh man, you got a Pip-Boy. I wish I was 10.
Happy
First thing
birthday!
we'll do is talk
We
to
really
Amata.
surprised you, didn't we?
This is the Overseer's
Your dad
daughter.
was afraid you were onto us. But I told him not to worry. You're so easy to fool.
Southstar, what's up, buddy? Hello and welcome.
You're welcome. But really, your dad did most of it. I just help with the decorations and stuff. Hey, I bet you can't guess what I got you for your birthday. Go on, guess.
I really have
Ha!
no
I
idea.
knew I'd surprise you. Who's your favorite barbarian? That's right, Grognak. Issue 14. And with no missing pages. I found this in a box of my father's old things. Believe it or not. Imagine him reading comic books. I guess everybody was 10 once. Well, I better let you get back to mingling with your guests. We'll talk later, okay? Happy birthday.
Okay, so now we basically just
Enjoying
walk
yourself?
around and talk to people.
I hope you appreciate the effort Amata put into this party. She really seems to like you, for some reason.
Alright, now we could go, of course she likes me, everyone does, or she did a great job, but couldn't you could have helped her out a bit more?
I do not allow the fact that Amata is my daughter to compromise my position as overseer. I gave her all the appropriate paternal encouragement, of course, but I could not contribute extra vault
just
resources.
chilling, playing some Fallout
That
3
is
today,
simply what my
Southstar,
position
'cause I got mad
requires.
at Fallout
No
4
more,
'cause
no
it kept
less.
crashing on me yesterday.
I know Amata understands that
So I
perfectly
decided
well.
to do something a little different. Now this game is also known for locking up because it, of course, is a Bethesda game too. But I haven't really had any problems with it when I
Nice
was playing
party.
with it. So
Are you having a nice party?
hopefully we won't have
10
any
years old.
big
My,
issues.
my. Seems like only yesterday that your daddy came. Goodness, listen to me ramble. You're waiting for your present, aren't you? Such a nice, polite young lady you are. Don't ever lose your gift of speaking your mind so directly. We could use more of that down here. Here you go. A nice
Yeah, but
sweet
that's
roll that I
why
baked for
luckily
you
I was
just
using
this
the
morning.
Elgato
And it's
shit. That's kind
all
of why I've
for
been
you.
using the Elgato
You're
shit.
the
So at least
birthday
if it
girl.
does lock up, I
No
don't have
sharing
to stop the
required
stream
today.
and all that
Attention,
bullshit.
everyone. It's time to cut the cake.
Andy, wait.
Damn
Enjoying
robot,
yourself?
you ruined the cake.
Oh, no.
I'm hungry, and that stupid robot destroyed the cake. Give me that
Now, this
sweet
is
roll you
Butch.
got from old Lady
He's a dick.
Palmer.
So, we could say Miss Farmer said I didn't have to share since it's my birthday. How about we share it? Half for me, half for you. That's fair, right? You can have it. I don't even like sweet rolls. Sure, Butch. Spit on the sweet roll and give it to him. Go soak your head, Butch. I'm not giving my sweet roll. And this is usually the answer I take is, you do look hungry. What, your mom drank up all the ration coupons again? That, of course, is my favorite
Don't you talk
answer.
about my mom, you little punk.
Allow me to
You're gonna be
explain.
sorry, you little...
Flor's gonna try and start a fight with you.
Daddy, I told you not to act all official. I know you were joking,
Butch, what are
but
you
I'm
doing?
not sure anyone else
Hitting a
did.
girl, and on her birthday, for heaven's sakes.
Always enjoy my little...
Did he hurt you, honey?
Yeah.
Besides that...
I hope Butch didn't hurt you. You want to tell me what that was all about?
Don't worry about it.
Good for you. Don't let Butch start to bully you, or he'll never stop. I've seen his type before. He's going to be a handful in a few years if his mother doesn't take him in hand. Well, no harm done then. Why don't you get back to enjoying your party?
A friend of yours could use a reminder that life is not all fun and games.
Jeez, Wally, who's the head of the gang?
How do you like that there Pip-Boy, miss? Fit all right and everything?
It's really cool. Did you fix it up?
As a matter of fact, I did. I'm glad you like it. Some may think the A series is a bit basic, but I've always preferred them for their reliability.
Peace out, Sal. Have a good one, brother.
Don't mention it. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Happy birthday. Not much, but I hope you like it.
This is supposed to be a party, you know?
How's it going, sweetheart?
Fun? You should try it sometime, Daddy. You might like
Now
it.
we can talk to a couple more people.
This party's pretty good, I guess.
Because we're waiting
For a
on
little
your
kid.
Dad to get up and go walk over to the
Balloons, party
intercom.
hats. Not as cool as my party, though. Remember how my dad got Andy to do magic tricks? And we all played Hunt the Mutant in the atrium? Oh, right. You weren't invited to my party. Too bad, man. It was really fun.
Hey,
So I guess you're kinda
thanks for
getting the
inviting me.
idea that most
Really
of the
cool
people
party
in
and
this walk are
everything.
dicks.
I know that, Butch and I give you a hard time, but you don't take that seriously, right? Anyway, happy birthday and everything. I better get back to, you know.
What's Butch's problem, anyway? I can't believe he tried to start a fight at your own birthday party. What a jerk. God, he really is a butthead. Oh well, you can always count on Butch to make an ass of himself. Get it?
What? Is she your best friend now? Hey, Wally,
Okay, now
I
that
think
little
Paul's
beeping
in
sound is the
love.
intercom
I know you were
going off.
busy
Yeah,
with the
Paul.
water purifier.
Why don't you introduce us
Everything's
to your
fine,
new
I hope.
girlfriend?
Oh, sure, nothing
Who do
to
you
worry
mean,
about. Me and Andy got
Goldface
her all
here?
fixed up again
Happy
last
birthday,
night. Good as new.
Goldface.
I wasn't
Jonas?
worried. You can
Enjoying
fix everything, right?
yourself?
We're all set down here.
I'm glad you could
Thanks.
make it.
I'll send her right down.
Happy...
Hey, that was Jonas on the intercom. He and I have been cooking up a little surprise present. Jonas is waiting for you downstairs on the reactor level. Go ahead. I don't think anyone will mind if you slip out for a few minutes.
Birthday!
How are you enjoying the party, Mrs. Palmer? I helped with the decorations.
Happy birthday, dearie. My goodness, I hope I didn't miss the party. They sure did. My. 10 years old already? Why, I can remember helping your dad change your diapers. And
Yeah.
now look at you,
And actually,
a great
though,
big grown-up 10-year-old
Acid, I
with
do
your very
know
own Pip-Boy. Since
They've
this
got
was such a
the
special
discs
occasion,
of
do you know
these.
what
If
I
you
did?
actually wanted to get a
I
disc
wrote
version,
you a
I know the
poem
Walmart around
just for
here has the
you.
actual disc
I hope you
version
like
of this
it.
in New Vegas, and they're both the Game of the Year editions or whatever.
Of course. Run along now, dearie, and have yourself a wonderful birthday.
You know?
But yeah, I totally love these older Fallouts just as much as I do Fallout 4. The only thing I don't like about them is that whole weapon degradation thing, and your armor degrades, so it's kind of a bitch. You have to keep repairing it. But
What are you doing down here, young lady? I thought kids weren't allowed down on the reactor level. You sure are. Pip-Boy and everything. Look at that. If you can wait just one more minute, I think your dad will want to give you the surprise himself.
wait over here for Dad to get over here.
Are you ready for your surprise? The Overseer gave you your Pip-Boy, and you're old enough to do some work, so I figure you're old enough for this. Your own BB gun. It's a little old, but it should work perfectly. Jonas found it down here. It was in pretty rough shape. Took us a good 3 months to find the parts to get it working again. You know how tough it is to find a spring that small? Good thing Butch misplaced that switchblade of his. So, what do you think? Want to give it a try? We sure can't, unless we want the overseer beating down our door. Jonas and I have found a place, though. Come on. Well, what do you think? You can come down here and shoot anytime you want. Couldn't have done it without Jonas's help. You make sure to thank him.
Alright, now we need to kind of do that.
Happy birthday, darling. I hope you have fun with it. Hey, you don't turn 10 every day. Now go on and let me see you shoot something.
Alright, now here's your first introduction to weapons. Which are a lot looser in this than they are in Fallout New Vegas. The aiming system in this is really
Careful, it's a rad
like
roach.
antiquated.
Think you can take care of that with your BB gun? Just aim and shoot. You'll be fine. Good work. That's one less rad roach to deal with. Let's get a picture together. Capture the moment. Hey, Jonas, get a picture of me with the big game hunter.
Smile.
Alright, now another flash forward.
Different parts.
Is there fun anyway? So, I'm the overseer's daughter, so what?
Yep,
Like,
we're
I get
16.
any kind of special treatment?
Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. As far as I can tell, you're a perfectly healthy 16-year-old girl. So, yes, you have to go to class to take your GOAT exam. Go on now. You've got a GOAT to take. Hey, it's not my call. Those are the rules. You're 16 now, so this year you take the GOAT. Come on, it's not so bad. Everyone has to take it. You'll do just fine. The Generalized Occupational Aptitude Test, GOAT. Everyone here in the vault takes it when they're 16. Helps to figure out what sort of a job you'll have here in Vault 101 when you get a bit older. So, pay attention and try not to fall asleep. You know what the Overseer says? We're born in the vault, we die in the vault. Each is tested to determine their abilities, that they may work for the betterment of all vault residents.
Here, the GOAT test is where you're going to pick your skills.
Sound familiar?
For the most part, or it's going to determine your skills. I think that's
Take care,
about
sweetie.
enough talking.
Now get out of here, and good luck.
Alright, now here's also our first bobblehead. We'll go ahead and take medicine, because that puts our medicine skill up by 10 points, which will help with stim packs and all that stuff, which early in the game is especially important.
Good morning. Stopped in to see the old man before class, eh?
Yeah, blah, 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 whatever. Alright, now we don't have the charisma to pass the speech check here, so we're actually going to have to fight Butch.
I can show you a real tunnel snake, Amata.
God, Butch, why don't you just leave me alone?
What are you
Show
gonna
it to
do,
her, Butch.
Amata? Go run and tell
Get
your daddy
away
on
from
us?
me!
Yeah? What do you want? None of your business, kid. Get out of here before you get hurt. If you mess with the tunnel snakes, you're asking for it. Got me?
See, now in this one, your speech is at 27%, because that percentage is what your speech would be, I think, or whatever. So, but the speech checks in this are a lot harder to pass. But we'll just go ahead and Just say leave her alone or you'll answer.
And who are you? Her girlfriend? Ha! Should have known. Keep talking like that girl, and we'll send you back to your daddy with a few broken bones for him to fix.
Alright, that's it, Butch. You and me.
You've
right
got to
now.
be kidding me. Come on, tunnel snakes. This twerp needs another lesson.
Butch, stop it! Leave
There
her
you
alone!
Where?
Stop it!
Tough guy, huh?
Had enough yet? Give her... Nice one, Butch.
Stop it!
Tunnel snakes rule. Losers drool.
Give her another one.
Please, stop!
Come on,
Careful
tunnel
with
snakes. This little bitch isn't worth our time. Okay, okay. You win. We'll leave the little girl alone. You're not worth our time anyway. Come on, tunnel snakes. We're out of here.
Hi, Stan.
Whatever you say, Butch. You're the boss. Tunnel snakes rule.
Fine, let's go.
Now we're gonna talk to him.
Thanks for getting rid of them. Assholes. I don't know why they won't leave me alone. Just because my father is the overseer, I guess? Idiots.
We'll let her get in the classroom, let everybody in the classroom. And now we're not gonna take the goat because every now and then it's been kind of known to like lock
Hey,
up on
Susie,
the goat
what's
test,
new?
so I don't really mess with the goat,
Oh.
and there's a way around
Well, you
it,
made
so-
it. All set for the goat? Trust me, it really isn't that bad. Just something everybody has to go through.
And I just say, come on, I really don't have to take this stupid test, do I?
Listen, I like your dad. I might even like you if I wasn't your teacher. So here's what I'm going to do. If you want to skip the test, just tell me how you want it to come out, and I'll take care of it for you.
Now you can just say, cool, let me see the results, and I'll fill it out for myself.
Well, all right. Here, take a look.
But now, for any of you that have watched the Fallout 4 test, a lot of those questions from the Fallout 4 when you're trying to get into Covenant or whatever, those are the questions from this guy. But now, so we need to tag 3 skills. I want to tag explosives, repair, and I guess we'll go with science for right now. Because I want all those skills to be above 30 for the time being, so those will work for right now.
You don't want to be the first class in history to fail the goat, do you?
Alright, now we just leave the classroom and we'll flash forward again. Now you are 19.
Selfish and insubordinate. Just
Wake up! Come on, wake up!
And this is where the actual kind of game starts.
Come on! You've got to wake up! You've got to get out of here. Your dad is gone, and my father's men are looking for you. He's left the vault. I don't know how, but he's gone. And my father, he's kind of gone crazy.
I've never seen you so scared, Amada. What's
It's
happening?
Jonas! They killed him! My father's men. They took him and... Oh my God, you have to leave now!
And now, depending on which one of these answers you pick, you usually will get different dialogue and stuff or whatever.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm just sorry you had to find out like this. I know Jonas was your friend. But we've got to go now. My father's men will be here any minute. Not anymore, apparently. But are you honestly telling me you had no idea your dad was leaving? He really didn't tell you?
Alright, now I'm gonna get some
Oh,
coffee
I'm
while we're
sorry.
doing this
I'm
real
sure
quick.
he had his reasons. Maybe Jonas was supposed to explain everything to you? But it doesn't matter. I can help you escape. I have my own plan. Listen, there's a secret tunnel that leads directly from my father's office to the exit. You'll have to hack the computer in his office to open it. Use these to get into his office. That's how I always get in. We don't have time for this. Trust me, security doesn't know about the tunnel. Just my father and me. Maybe this pistol I stole from my father will make you feel better. Go ahead, take it. And then let's get out of here.
Thanks, I'll use it only as the last
Okay,
resort.
I'll try to meet you at the exit. Watch out for security. Good luck!
We will save those unless we really need to. Now. Pretty sure that's all we need to do. As you can see, because I added some into strength, we've got 220 on the carry capacity. Like if you don't put anything into strength, I mean, I think you end up starting at like 200, but we're gonna be mostly full by the time we leave because we're actually gonna have to repair some stuff to even be able to carry everything out of here. And the hotkeying works a little different than Fallout. Like I will put my 10mm pistol over here, put the baseball bat over there since that's all we have for now. Stim packs I push down, so now all I have to do is push down and I can stim pack. And I believe that's all we've got for the time being, so let me just get some vanilla creamer in my coffee and we'll be up. Alright. And we're back. Alright, now. Okay, so my left stick is, it's kind of hard to remember this stuff after playing Fallout 4 so much because the controls are different. Get our baseball
There
bat
she is.
out.
Hold it right there. Criminy, more roaches.
Let him take out the roaches.
No!
Before the roaches take him out. Go ahead and snatch this up. Now there isn't, as far as I know, I don't remember, but I don't think there's any like crafting type stuff in this. I think there is. You can mod weapons, I think, and stuff or whatever, but for the most part, yeah, you literally are just getting this stuff to sell.
You gotta help me! My mom's trapped in there with the rat roaches!
Alright. Butch asking me for help. If only you knew what irony.
Yeah, I'm asking you. So what? Look, I'm sorry for the way I've always treated you. You know I never meant any of it, right? But it's my mom. You can't leave her in there with the rat roaches.
Alright, I'll help, but I'm doing this for your mom, not for you.
Sure, I don't care why. Just get her out of there.
Stop it! What's happening? What's happening?
We will use Vash for this because you don't want to end up hitting her. And if you're just swinging freestyle, it is a little bit too easy.
Oh. Hey, cut it out. Ow. That hurt.
Keep pushing the wrong button because I keep pushing
No.
the Fallout 4 button.
We did it! My mom's gonna be okay! You're the best friend I've ever had, man! Hey, I know it isn't much, but I want you to have my Tunnel Snake's jacket. Go ahead, take it.
Okay, so now we'll put the Tunnel Snake's outfit on because it actually increases my melee by 5, where that only increases it by 2. We've got the security armor, which doesn't do anything, but it gives us a lot of damage resistance. But for right now, we really don't need a whole lot. It's only some rad roaches, and there's a couple guards we have to take out. So, but we will snatch up all of Butch's mom's vodka. And unlike Fallout 4, where like you kind of roll over the rad roach and you can take shit without actually having to go into the inventory, that has not become a thing yet, so you actually have to go into the inventory to get the rad roach meat. And we'll snatch up all the jumpsuits. So I think there's some more vodka. We'll pretty much pick up all of this. So it seems to me like I kind of remember another vodka being floating around here, but who knows, maybe Butch's mom drank it already. Let's check in here just to make sure. And like I said, we're picking up all of this stuff just because we're eventually going to end up selling it. Ah, yes, there is another vodka. There we go. Okay, now cool. And now in this is almost the same thing because vodka does increase your charisma by 1, so it sort of helps you with speech checks, and it increases your strength by 1, so if you like run, say, just a little bit over your capacity on carrying shit, you can drink the vodka and then fast travel where you gotta go. So it does come in handy. You do, however, run the same risk as in Fallout 4 of getting addicted to alcohol, and that of course will cause you problems later.
All residents of Vault 101 are hereby confined to their
I just
quarters.
want to turn the light off.
The rat roach infestation is under control. Do not interfere with Vault security personnel. Any resident found outside his or her quarters will be dealt with severely. That is all.
And as you can see, my baseball bat is already almost half worn down now. Which is one of the things that I hated about this game, was like, I understand the weapon degradation, but sometimes it like, literally, it just like, it goes way too fast. Let me pick up all this shit so we can sell it later again.
This is the overseer. All residents of Vault 101 are hereby confined to their quarters.
Okay.
The rat roach infestation is under control. Do not interfere with Vault security personnel. Any resident found outside his or her quarters will be dealt with severely.
Now this is Officer Gomez, the guy that stopped Butch from beating you up. Him and Mr. Andy from your dad's office are taking on some rad roaches over here.
Ah, young madam. Very good to see you again. I do suppose you're looking for your father, the doctor?
You're the one everybody's looking for, right? Well, it's none of my business. Your dad always took good care of us.
For a spot of fresh air. Could be back any moment.
I never saw you. Just hold still. Your left stabilizer's been knocked loose.
I am
Normally he gives you a little bit more of a speech thing. But yeah, we'll go check your dad's office real quick, because I don't think there's anything here except for a safe that we don't have the lock-picking skill to attempt yet.
Turning like that, I'm gonna crack your casing.
That, of course, is a chemistry station, kind of like in Fallout 4, but you can't use it unless you actually pay to get one in your house, which we will get.
I found the problem.
Do you have any idea what you're doing back there?
Here.
Don't be such an old woman. Just a few more adjustments and you'll be as good as new.
I think you've just made it worse. Should I do this myself?
Try it now. I think I've got it this time.
That is not the servo motor switch. To the left. Left, I said.
Alright, on to the atrium.
We should just go back to our quarters.
It's our only chance. Don't you see? We're getting out of here, just like the doctor. I'm not gonna let anyone stop us. It's me!
As far as I know, I don't think there's any way to save these people because they just go charging in there.
No!
She's gonna go running after him.
Well, there she is. There she is. What's the matter, huh? Can't stand the sight of your own blood?
Okay, cool. We took them out pretty quickly. Now we're going to snatch up all this armor, ammo, and the weapons. Let's go ahead and combine these. Now yours is still in good condition, but I can combine these other two. These we're probably not going to want to sell because we're going to need them to repair ours. Metro Last Light. Yes, I had the Metro redo. And I think on the Xbox I have Metro, I think, what is it, 2033 or the first one of them. I don't have Last Light on the Xbox. I had it for PlayStation 3. And I know I had Metro Redo, which was both of them for the PlayStation 4. I don't think I have them anymore though. But yes, that was actually a really good game, and that was actually a really hard game too. Because man, that was a game where you always ended up running out of ammo, man. That was my biggest problem with it, was I always ended up running out of ammo. Come on now. Get all this rad roach meat.
You! This is your fault. You and your stupid father. He had to go and leave, didn't he? He had to mess things up for everybody.
Man, I think I got something on my shoe.
The
So of course you're being blamed.
Trying to leave the vault. Don't let her get away.
Uh-oh, and yeah, it looks like he's already taken out the rad roaches. So hopefully he's got some
There
damage.
she is. Bring it! I'm hit! Ah! Ah! Ah!
Sit your ass down. Alright, so we got some more armor. Some more Radmoch meat. And now, you definitely want to check this dude and the other dude, because there's reading glasses and another utility jumpsuit. This is a conductor and scrap metal. Those we're not going to need for quite a while because we have to get the workbench in our house. And yeah, and especially if you played that like on like whatever the hardcore mode was, man, where like ammo was really scarce. And considering that in Metro Last Light, that's pretty much your form of currency. It was always a tough decision. It was like, do I want to buy more weapon mods or do I want to save the ammo for shit, you know? And now this you definitely want to sneak by because like it's kind of better to get out of here without killing Amada's dad, because that will affect you in the game later. So it's definitely better to kind of just sneak by this whole thing. Or you could go in there and try and save Amada, but you end up having to kill her dad and the other security guard to do so. So it's definitely better to just not have to kill her dad. Now here is pre-war money, which isn't as valuable as it is in Fallout 4. And we'll snatch up these coffee mugs. And now, I could repair those, but since we're not hurting on ammo, I won't do that. Or since we're not hurting on space or whatever. Now the Vault Lab uniform, that's kind of comes in handy every now and then. Hey Billy, what's up? And Plague, hello and welcome. And now I think this run through I'll probably save Megaton just because it's a quicker way to get me a place to store all my shit. It's an easier way to get it. But I will do another kind of bitchy run where we blow up Megaton in another playthrough, because I kind of want to show both sides of that. But I think in this one we'll probably just save Megaton. And now we'll put on the tinted reading glasses, because unlike Fallout 4 where glasses give you perception +1, these don't give you any bonuses, but they do give you a little bit of damage resistance. That 1 damage resistance could make a little difference. So we will use it. And the Vault Lab uniform is kind of cool, because that could kind of come in handy later too. Get some more bobby pins and some more jumpsuits. Head on in here. Now over there is the office we need to get to. You can it's locked very easy, so obviously they want to design it to where you can pick it, but lock picking in this is just a little bit harder than Fallout 4. So I will usually come over here, grab the 10mm rounds, get the office key, then you don't have to worry about picking it. Will open up this. Here is the office, or the terminal password, and a ton of ammo, which is awesome. These mentats will come in handy later on down the road too. Oh, it was good, Plague. It was good. And yes, actually I will go ahead and play the note from Dad. Thank you for pointing that out. We should definitely play that. That's right. In here, this is set up a little bit different. This is, normally that would be in your miscellaneous inventory item. Here you have to go to the data and go to
Hold on, Jonas. I need to record this first. I don't really know how to tell you this. I hope you'll understand, but I know you might be angry. I thought about it for a long time, but in the end, I decided it was best for you not to know. So many things could have gone wrong, and there's really no telling how the Overseer will react when he finds out. It's best if he can blame everything on me. Obviously, you already know that I'm gone. It was something I needed to do. You're an adult now. You're ready to be on your own. Maybe someday things will change and we can see each other again. I can't tell you why I left or where I'm going. I don't want you to follow me. God knows life in the vault isn't perfect, but at least you'll be safe. Just knowing that will be enough to keep me going.
Don't mean to rush you, Doc, but I'd feel better if we got this over with.
Okay, go ahead. Goodbye. I love you.
Alright, so there's your note from Dad. And yeah, I actually, and yes, yesterday was my birthday, Billy. But yeah, I actually have a run that I started on New Vegas. I didn't play the hardcore mode on that one just because it'd been so long since I played it. But yes, you definitely want to get to the Overseer's Terminal here because this is going to give you a couple of tidbits of information that we are definitely want to see. Now the security dossiers aren't really much of anything. They're pretty much just info. He's been kind of notes that he's been writing on the tunnel snakes, and this is Beatrice, Jonas. Now, this is what you want to get into. Because this is what's going to put Megaton on your map. And see, a lot of this is important too, because if you've sort of been paying attention to some of the dialogue, basically they act as if, you know, nobody has ever... Oh, Rasta, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? God, it's been a little bit since we've seen you. But yeah, this basically they act like nobody has ever left Vault 101 and nobody's ever come. But apparently you're getting the idea that you and your dad came to Vault 101 from outside. So that obviously isn't true. And now you're finding out that they've actually sent out scouts to check out the area. This is where you're kind of finding out about Megaton. These are basically just pictures of the ants they were talking about. And that's a picture of Megaton. Now here is basically just, you know, a letter to the Overseer from Stanislaus Braun, who we will run across later in the game, in a way. And this, you're finding out that you're not going to get a Gek. This is basically just an explanation as to what a Gek is. It's a Garden of Eden creation kit is what Gek stands for. Okay, so now we can open the Overseer's Tunnel and go. But yeah, mostly just the same old, Rasta. I will usually shut this off. Doesn't really matter if you do or not, but I usually do just to do it. But this, of course, is the tunnel that Amada was talking about. There should be a rat roach here. We are at the entrance of the vault, so basically all we have to do is click this.
She's opening the vault door. Get the overseer. We need this door open now.
Oh my god. He actually opened it. I didn't think I would make it. My father, my Officer Mac, I didn't tell them anything, I swear. When the warning sirens came on, they all ran out. I guess that was you? I see you got the door open. That's good. You're right. I understand. It was crazy for me to think you could stop them. What's important is that you made it. You got the door open.
And you could tell her to come with you, but she's not.
Don't worry
going
about
to.
me. Whatever happens, I'm sure I'll be in less danger than you. I can't imagine what you're gonna find out there. Go on, before anyone comes. Find your dad. I'll miss you. You've been a good friend.
Gotcha now. You shouldn't have tried to run. That was
You
close.
can take these guys out if you want, but basically you just kind of
There's more where that
stall
came
them
from.
until the door opens because they're not going to come out here.
I'm not crazy enough to go out there.
So basically we can put the bat away, and as we're walking down the tunnel here, the door will close again. And Vault 101 is sealed. I don't know why Amada's out here, but you do realize you're locked out, right? Okay. But now, this right here, there's going to be an autosave that comes here. Because this is where it's going to ask you if you want to edit your name. This is your last chance to retag skills. Like say if you wanted to set your lock picking skills so you could pick that lock in his office or whatever, this would be your chance to change shit here, but we're basically just gonna go. But now there will be an autosave there. This is a good point for you to save that autosave because you can actually start the game from here without having to go through all of that crap again. And this is more or less where the game really starts anyway, so. With this. Let's go ahead and put a bunch of this into lockpick because we're going to want to get that up there as much as we can. Put a couple into small guns, and then we'll go ahead and raise speech and barter just a slight bit here. And now you will do this every level, and now we get to pick a perk, which we're of course limited. Now there I can get 5 points to science and medicine. Here I can get 5 points to small guns and repair. Intense training, of course, you can pick a special attribute and raise it 1. With the Swift Learner perk, I can I get 10% more experience. The Thief perk, we get sneak and lockpick skills, which I think I am going to go ahead and take Thief this time because I do want my sneak and lockpick skills to get up there just a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and raise those. Alright, so not a bad idea to go ahead and just save the game here, just in case something stupid happens. See, now this is the vault entrance one. That's the one we should probably save. This, of course, is from an earlier thing. So we'll go ahead and just overwrite this autosave because there'll be another autosave anyway. But so now our game is saved. Now, since I have the DLC, this is where all of this is going to go ahead and kick in. It says a riverboat is docked at the mouth of the Potomac, carrying trade from the distant peninsula of Point Lookout. The captain offers passage to Point Lookout for any mercenary, treasure hunter, or adventurer looking to explore the new land. Of course, we'll start that into the pits. There are a report of a new radio message being broadcast across the capital wasteland. The transmission appears to be some sort of distress call and gives little information except the local location name of a man making the plea. That's the pit quest, or the pit DLC that was started. As we walk here, there should be a couple more. Mothership Zeta. A new radio broadcast has been heard across the capital wasteland. While completely unintelligible, it sounds ominous. And Broken Steel. Now this, if you're going to get any DLC for this, is one of the best ones to get. Because A, your level cap is raised to 30 or whatever, but this is the DLC that expands the game. Up until this DLC was created, basically, if you finish the main storyline in the game is over. Like, there is no more playing it. They don't put you back in the game like they do with Fallout or whatever. The game is just over. It doesn't matter how many quests you have left over there or that you didn't do. The game is over. With this, the Broken Steel DLC, you wake up 2 weeks later after the end of the game, and then you can go and all your quests are still there and you can do that. Now, I hated that because I originally played this game before it had the DLC. So that kind of really pissed me off that the game ended right there whenever you finish the main storyline. So you can imagine when this DLC came out, I was like, ah, okay, cool. So this expands the game. But so that is all the DLC. And now let's go ahead and so we're of course following his footsteps. These three are the three ones. Now, Not of This World and Into the Pit, both of these DLCs, once you go into them, you're stuck in them until you finish the DLC. You can't get back out. The Local Flavor, you can go to Point Lookout and come back and forth. So it's kind of like in New Vegas, where Lonesome Road is a DLC that you can kind of come and go from. You could come do a little bit of it and then come back to the Mojave and do that and, you know, do some more stuff and raise your level and all that or whatever. This is kind of like that. You can come back and forth. It just costs you like $300 for another ticket to come back though, so you have to have a lot of cash to do it. Into the Pit, you're stuck in Pittsburgh until you actually complete that quest. This, you're stuck on Mothership Zeta until you complete the quest, so there should be a few things floating around Springville here. Got a frag grenade, a Jet and Psycho. And now Jet and Psycho don't really work quite the way they do in Fallout 4. Like, they don't slow down time or anything like that, but you do get extra AP for Jet and your damage plus 25 for Psycho. You, of course, run the risk of getting addicted to any of these drugs. And now the funny thing about this is in Fallout 4, you can equip your weapon and whatever your throwable is going to be. Here, if I equip those frag grenades, that is my weapon, which is good and bad because it means that my frag grenade is the only weapon that I have, but it also means that you can VATS with grenades. So as long as the enemy is not running at you, you can totally like just use VATS for the grenades. However, if the enemy is running at you and you VATS him, and like say you set it up to throw 3 grenades, if the enemy's running at you, each time he gets closer to you, that grenade you're throwing is going to be going off closer and closer to you. So you have to remember that. But we got some. A little bit of alcohol. I was going to say this should be a pickable save. So here's our first option at lock picking if you haven't picked the Overseer's lock. And it, of course, like works pretty much the same as it does in Fallout 4, but it is a little bit harder. Got a bunch of drugs. Pugilism Illustrated, which will open up or raise. See, now that is my unarmored crease +1. Kind of like in Fallout 4, there is a perk to where you can double those effects, and that turns out to be worth 2. It'll raise your skill +2, but I'm not really going to worry about it too much for right now.
Incompetence at the highest echelons of power. We put our trust, our faith in half-wits. Our intrepid leaders had everything they wanted: power, wealth, prestige. And it made them lazy, America. Oh, yes, and laziness breeds stupidity. Rest assured.
Now that voice, of course, is Malcolm McDowell, who some of you may know from the Clockwork Orange movie. He's another famous voice that was put into the game. This will come into play later. You can't get in here until later. That, I think, comes as one of the DLCs. Like, after you beat the game, you come back here, and the game will lead you back here.
Until we have what we deserve. A place to truly call home. So remember.
You get some Nuka-Cola, which of course, Nuka-Cola and all that works a little bit different than it does in Fallout 4 also. Now, if I had not lowered my charisma skill, we might have a chance at passing this speech check. We're probably not going to get it. I'm going to save the game just in case. But chances are we're not going to get this, so I'm probably going to end up having to kill this chick.
Who the hell are you? Where'd you come from? Did Moriarty send you?
I love this answer. You better calm down before I put you down.
That lying bastard. Roped you into finding me too, huh? Well, you're not getting a damn thing from me. You hear me? Not a damn thing.
Found you.
Where?
Gold silver.
You want some?
Now this of course gets you a pistol, but more importantly gives you 400 caps. And yeah, I actually will have to look into that because I don't remember what that seller does. You might be right. It might have something to do with the children of Adam. That is very possible. Because it does, I'm not 100% sure. But now, this is 400 caps that we get because we killed her. Now one of the speech checks that you could pass with her is to just say, look, if you give me the money, I'll take it to him and tell him to back off you, blah blah blah, and she'll just give you the money anyway. But that's 400 caps that we ended up with, and now I could start stealing all this stuff, but the stealing in this game, of course, you lose karma. And your karma scale over here, if we go to general, it says good. I'm a vault martyr. Now if you pick a bunch of dickheaded answer, you start ending up with negative karma. And this is based on a scale of like 1 to 1,000 or something like that, like from like 250 to negative 250, I think you're neutral. Once you pass 250, you're good. Then you get very good, very, you end up being like a saint or something. And if you go the other way, you turn out to be evil. And now, this was sort of important in this game because if you don't have the right karma, certain people will not take. You can't get certain people as quests or whatever, so you did want to pay attention to this because, like, if you're there's a guy in Megaton, like, he won't go with you unless you have a certain level of negative karma. There's a paladin with the Brotherhood of Steel who won't go with you unless you have a certain level of good karma. So karma in this was just a little bit more important way back then. So we are actually not looking too bad on our skills here. Okay, so yeah, we're done here though, because I'm not going to loot her house. I don't have a whole lot more carrying room. And now this, I will usually go as far as trying to get this location, just so I can have another fast travel location. But we don't necessarily want to tip off these raiders that are in here, because there's a bunch of raiders in here that will, yeah. At this point in the game, we don't really have the hit points. We don't necessarily have the ammo to be taking on that many of them. So we've got our locations, we've kind of looted almost everything, unless of course maybe there's some mailboxes up here. And now once you get out here, drinking from the fire hydrants will give you 24 hit points back, but it's also going to give you rads. So you kind of have to be careful. But unlike Fallout 4 where the rads take away from your hit points, this won't do that. It gives you rads and you start losing. You start having negative effects from having too many rads, which we will get into here in just a little while too. Check this garbage can. Oh, it's empty. This one. Bottle caps. Always good. This, of course, you can see Megaton in the distance up there. That's where we are headed to. here, a lot of times there will be merchants and traders. There's 4 main merchants and traders. Over here is a dude. He's gonna ask you for purified water. You can give him a purified water, and that gives you karma. So, like, good actions have a tendency to like, reset your karma. If you're trying to get your karma reset, like giving all of these guys purified water is a good way to get some karma back. Doing good stuff for people is a good way usually to get your karma back. But now here is another speech check that we will not pass, but we don't really need to.
I'll be damned. Another newcomer. Name's Lucas Sims, town sheriff, and mayor too, when the need arises. I don't know why, but I like you, girl. Something tells me you're all right. So welcome to Megaton. Just holla if you need something.
Now you can be nice and say, nice town you got here, sheriff. It's a pleasure to meet you. You can go, nice hat, Calamity Jane, in which case I think he just walks away from you, or you can say nothing.
Friendly and well-mannered. I think we're gonna get along just fine. You treat my people nice, and you're welcome to stay as long as you'd like. I'm glad we understand each other. Now, is there something I can help you with?
Of course, you're looking for your father.
Nope, sorry. I got enough fires to put out in this place that I don't have time to keep tabs on every visitor. I'd ask around town.
Now, let's discuss this mob.
What about it? I don't trust any of the locals to tinker with it. Besides, most people don't even realize it's still a threat. And hell, Cromwell and those crazies from the Church of Adam, they worship the damn thing. Why? You think you got the know-how to disarm it? For good? Oh, all right. Fine. But listen here. Just take a look at it first. Go easy. If you get the job done, there'll be 100 caps in it for you.
Alright, now if you had a high speech, you could talk them into 500 caps. You could tell them, I don't need a reward, I could sleep at night knowing you all could die. That, I think, will give you good karma. So doing stuff like that is a good way to get your karma back, but 100
Great.
caps, alright, I'll take it.
Go ahead and see what you can do. Just be careful.
And now that I'm helping you, maybe you can help me. I'm looking for my...
Well, come to think of it, I do remember a stranger coming through here. Had a look in his eye. You know the kind a man gets when he's got a purpose. Spend some time up in the saloon. Might want to check with Moriarty. Just watch yourself. That man's trouble.
Okay, so that is...
Carry
good
on.
for him. Now, let's see what time is it. It's 5:14. So, I guess now I could just run over there straight away and disarm the bomb. But we're going to, first, go up here. And we shall have a talk over here at the saloon. And now there is, of course, another speech check that we won't pass in here, but you can get over here to give
come on,
you
you
some
piece of
info.
junk.
This is the guy that we want to talk to right here.
My. Just when I'd all but given up hope. My dear girl, I'm very happy to make your acquaintance. I am Mr. Burke. And you, well, you are not a resident of this putrescent cesspool. That makes you a rather valuable individual. Finally, Someone with a modicum of civility and common sense. I represent certain interests, and those interests view this town, this megaton, as a blight on a burgeoning urban landscape. You have no connections here, no interest in this cesspool's affairs or fate. You could assist us in erasing this little accident off the map.
Go on, I'm listening.
The undetonated atomic bomb for which this town is named is still very much alive. All it needs is a little motivation. I have in my possession a fusion pulse charge, constructed for a singular purpose: the detonation of that bomb. You'll rig it to the bomb, then you'll get paid handsomely. What do you say?
See, now with the speech check, you could have an extra 500 caps. So there's, you can straight up say you're out of your mind, no way I'm helping you, all right, I'll do it. Megaton is under my protection. Sims wants me to disarm the bomb, or with the speech check you can get more money. But we'll do it for right now, just to continue this conversation. We'll say
Sims is an idiot. He prides himself on his position as mayor and sheriff of this scrapyard.
Say, all right, say I decide to help you, what's in it for me?
You mean, besides doing the world a favor by removing this pestilent scab of a town? Why, you'd be rewarded most handsomely. My employer is a very generous man. If it's bottle caps and luxury you're seeking, you shall have it.
And now we can tell him, all right, I'll do it, Megatron will burn.
Excellent. I had a feeling about you. Here's the fusion pulse charge. It needs to be installed inside the bomb. When it's done, meet me at 10 Penny Tower. It's southwest of here, well out of harm's way. You can't miss it. Questions?
Okay. Now, I will ask him, what if I can't do it?
Lack the aptitude, you mean? You're not rewiring the thing, just attaching the pulse charge to the detonator. If you get stumped, talk to Leo Stahl. He might have something to help you concentrate. He's got a bit of a reputation. Absolutely not. The place, the people, they're one and the same. Sacrifices for a nobler future. I assure you, they're worth 10 times as much in death as they are in life.
Okay, so now we'll
Don't
just
let
say
me
it's time
keep
for me
you.
to go. Which now
I told you,
you've got
Gob,
a
it ain't the
clue that
radio.
Leo Stahl
The Enclave
down at
station
the
comes
other
in
little
fine.
restaurant
It's Galaxy News.
sells
Their
Mentos.
signal's been shit lately.
So we will get out of here and go ahead. Now that's Moriarty, who you're going to talk to about finding your dad. And now here is your first big decision of the game. Because now we have two choices. We can either rig this bomb to blow, or we can disarm the bomb, which now if we rig the bomb to blow, we have to go down to 10 Penny Tower, which is all the way down here. Now this, at this low of a level, is kind of, hey Darkness, what's up? Thank you. But at this low of a level, getting down into this area is kind of hard. You could literally just run straight down there, run by most of the stuff there. But there's, you know, a few things, like you're going to run into the outcasts, which are like outcasts from the Brotherhood. There's like Death Claws in here, there's Yaoguai in here and all that or whatever. So it's not necessarily an easy trek to make unless you really do just run straight there. But if I disarm the bomb, I get a house in Megaton, which
Give your
is pretty
bodies
much the
to
way that
atoms.
I'm going to go. It, of course, definitely sets off Mr. Burke, and now I'm going to have people that Mr. Burke hires coming after me. And because my explosion skill, this is why we wanted to get my explosion skill up above 30, because you can't do this without that.
Hey, you.
What? Now we go talk to
I'll be
Sims.
damned. You did it, didn't you? You disarmed that thing. Here's your reward. Hell, why don't you move in? Could use someone like you. Got an empty place here you can use. Here's the key indeed. It ain't much to look at, but talk with Moira. She's got random odds and ends you might be able to spruce the place up with.
Alright, so there's another 300 experience points and another level up.
Take care now.
So we'll do that now. Let's go ahead and start bumping these up here. I want to get them to at least 40. Go ahead and throw a couple on small guns. And I will probably use the rest over here on energy weapons for right now. Or we'll put this last one on repair to get it up there. And now again, unlike Fallout 4 or New Vegas or whatever, where you get to choose perks every other level, here you get to choose perks every level. So, we've got Black Widow, which in combat we can do 10% against male opponents, which there are a lot of male opponents, and being a chick, this could actually work out because you do get some unique dialogues. Daddy's Girl, of course, we read through all this before. I can take a second level of this, and this is going to come at level 4. So this is the one that gives us an additional skill point whenever skill books are read. Educated, we get 3 extra points. So we would have 20 instead of 17. So let's see what we got here. That would raise my lock skill up to 45, which would mean that that utility suit would have me at 50, so all I have to do is put that utility suit on and I can pick the average locks. Small gun repair. And this, I think I'm going to go ahead and take this because that will get my science skill up to 45, and I believe I'm going to need my science skill up to 50 before I'm going to need my lockpick skill up there.
God bless the USA and nowhere else.
I love how he says that too. God bless the USA and nowhere else. Alright, so our science skill is at 45, so we can get that up there. Our lockpick skill is at 42 with the bonus stuff that we're wearing and all that stuff or whatever. But I can make that 47 with the utility suit. And I think if I take Mentats, it'll raise it up to where I could get it to almost 50. But
Something about
right
you,
now,
boy. I heard that you was the scout
get
with
on
the
up here,
Hit a recon. Check out
and we will go have a talk with Moira.
Evening.
Hey,
Say, I hear you're that stray from the vault. Oh, I haven't seen one of you for years. Good to meet you. I'm Moira Brown. I run Craterside Supply. But what I really do is mostly tinkering and research. Say, I'm working on a book about the wasteland. It'd be great to have the foreword by a vault dweller. Help me out, would you?
Sure, I've got plenty to say about life in the vault.
Great. Just tell me what it's like to live underground all your life, or to come outside for the first time, or whatever strikes your fancy.
And now, this is honestly just a little bit important because how you answer her determines how this book turns out or whatever. But, so I can say it was paradise, no fear, no worries, fighting until Dad left. The outside place is amazing. In the main room, I can't even see the ceiling. Or I was sent as an ambassador from the Utopia of Vault 101, bow before my glory. How do you people lived out here? I haven't found a food dispenser anyway. It was cramped, dark, and the food sucked. Good riddance. I, usually just to be a little bit of a smart ass, say I was sent as an ambassador from the Utopia of Vault 101, bow before my glory.
Oh, certainly, Your Majesty. Then consider this armored vault suit to be Megaton's gift to your mighty empire. However, you may consider going incognito. People around here don't always take kindly to monarchy, you know. That'll be good for the book. In fact, want to help me with the research? I can pay you, and it'll be fun.
What's this book you're working on?
Well, it's a dangerous place out there in the wastes, right? People could really use a compilation of good advice, like a wasteland survival guide. For that, I need an assistant to test my theories. I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt because of a mistake. Nobody's ever happy when that happens. No, then they just yell a lot at me with mean words.
Sounds great. I can't wait to help.
Good enthusiasm. Now, I think the first chapter will have to be about surviving day-to-day dangers. Things like where it is and isn't safe to find food, the dangers of radiation, and how to avoid and even profit from dangerous landmines. Ooh, sounds like fun, doesn't it? Which do you want to do first?
Now, the best one to take for right now is getting food. Doesn't sound so bad. What are you looking for? We're going to start with this.
Well, food and medicine. Everyone needs them once in a while, right? So they need a good place to find them. There's an old super-duper mart not far from here. I need to know if a place like that still has any food or medicine left in it.
Okay, I'll check the super-duper.
Oh, great! Food is most important, but see if you can get medicine, too. And if there's nothing to find, then just come back in one piece, okay?
Okay, now we will say, let's see what you have.
Absolutely.
I need to dump off a lot of this crap so I have room. And now, since I have the place, like this stuff will pop up here, but you can see because of my barter skill being so low, the workbench is one of the most important first things to get, because then you can start making stuff as you get recipes, because you have to find schematics for stuff to make stuff at the workbench. The Nuka-Cola machine, basically you can just put Nuka-Colas in there and they become ice-cold Nuka-Colas, which give you better benefits. The laboratory, you can you click on the laboratory and it gives you like one random chem every 24 hours. The infirmary is sort of important because that you can heal yourself, you can get rid of radiation, you can heal crippled limbs, all just by going to your house. The jukebox is basically just that. It's a jukebox. You get to hear the radio and stuff, but since we're not too concerned with that, and so we will get rid of the 32 pistol. Get rid of the BB gun. Dump off these police batons. And now this, of course, was one of the first games with the bartering system, because like you had to be careful because she can run out of money. So we can get rid of that. Now the eyeglasses, I think, might be able to repair the tinted reading glasses. I don't know about that right off the bat. We definitely want to save these jumpsuits. We'll get rid of the Wasteland Wanderer. Now, since these don't have any real benefits to them, I can repair them, and I could get like that 9 damage resistance up to like 10 or 11 or whatever. But this armored vault suit gives us 12, plus it gives us energy weapons and small guns plus 5. That is going to be my armor for a little while, so I can go ahead and get rid of the vault security armor. You can keep the helmet if you want, because it gives you the damage resistance at 3, which at this stage of the game is usually a pretty good thing. We can sell all this rad roach meat, because unlike Fallout 4 where you can cook stuff and make it non-radiated, I usually don't even mess with that. I usually just use stim packs to heal whenever you can get it. The vodka is something you can craft later on down, so I may just hang on to that for now. All of this stuff here is stuff that once you get the schematics for, you can totally make stuff at your workbench with, but since it's a little while before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and probably just sell a lot of this stuff. We're keeping that scrap metal, and I will show you what that's for in just a minute here. Okay, now we're beyond what she has on her, so let's go ahead and see about grabbing at least a couple of these impacts. And see, now this to me is really stupid, because I think they did this in Fallout 4 too or whatever, but when you click on something that you have above 6 or above of, it asks you how many of them you want to get rid of. Like, why this goes down to 0, I do not know. That is the most retarded thing in the frickin' world to me. Like, well, yes, I want to sell I want to buy these stim packs. So how many do I want to buy? Oh, I don't want to buy any. Like, I'm going to say, oh, I want 0. So let's go ahead and at least grab 2 of those, and that'll at least get us back to where we can start selling stuff again. And this fusion pulse charge is of no use to me whatsoever anymore since I've disarmed the bomb. It's not like I can change that and re-rig the bomb to go. We're not really going to get rid of any of the 32. We can get rid of the 32 ammo, I guess. And I can get rid of the BBs. So let's go ahead and buy 1 more of these. I do believe that's it, because I want to keep these 10mm pistols because of the quick weapon degradation. I'm going to need a lot of those to repair my stuff with. So for right now, yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of the wine and the whiskey. We'll hold on to those 3 vodkas. And I don't usually use the drugs, but I'm going to hold on to them just for the heck of it for right now. But so we'll accept that.
Good hunting.
Here.
Take care. It's a big wasteland, but you know that better than me, right?
But yeah, okay. But so on to this now. Now another little avenue of making money and getting a little bit of experience here. We're going to head in here to the water treatment plant and have a little talk with Walter.
What do you need?
What can I do to help around
Well,
here?
it's no secret that the old water treatment plant is on its last legs. And I'm the only one in town that can keep the damn thing running. I spend so much time up in the plant that I can't take care of the leaks that keep springing up in the pipes around town. Now, I don't expect much from strangers, but if you've got the know-how, I need someone to hunt down and repair those leaks.
How many leaks are there?
From the pressure in the plant, my guess is that there are 3 of them scattered around town. Check along the pipes and the valves, but they might be a bit tricky to spot.
And we'll just say, I'll keep
I
in
hope you
mind.
can help. If folks knew how bad it was getting up here, well, I don't know what would happen.
Okay, and now
Well,
I have
back to work.
Because we're done talking to him for the time being. And now, if you blow up Megaton, obviously you're not going to get this quest or whatever. Like, you could do it this one time, but pretty much once Megaton blows up, it's blown up, so you can't do this anymore. Here is our
You want
first
something?
leak. And this is why we wanted repair to be above 30, because you need 30 to repair these. And now I should mention too that if you do blow up Megaton, it's a great way to start the game with a lot of money, because you end up getting like 1,500 caps or some crazy amount of caps, and an apartment down at Tenpenny Towers. So that again may or may not affect your decision, because you will start off with a lot more money, but you will lose a buttload of karma in the process of blowing it up. Alright, and that was leak number 2.
Billy says not to talk to you.
Now, leak number 3 over here is a little bit trickier to get to, because you want to make sure you get that jump there. You definitely want to make that jump, because if you land all the way down there, it's going to take some health off you and could quite possibly kill you at this low level. Which I will show you in the second chapter of working with Moira. Sorry. But okay, so we've repaired all 3 of the leaks. Now we head back up here to Walter.
Yeah? What is it? Well, I'll be. The pressure's up in the plant. It looks like all the leaks have been fixed. Thank you, stranger. Thank you. But listen, it's only a matter of time before they burst again. And someone like you might not be around to fix them. I'll make you a deal. I'll give you caps for any scrap metal you can bring me. You'll find it all over the place out there in the waste. If I have a steady supply of scrap, I can keep the plant running and the pipe should be just fine. We got a deal?
Sounds good to me. I'll bring you the parts.
Good. This just keeps looking better. Those parts will keep this place running and the town in fresh water. Hurry back as soon as you find some.
Alright, now we just scored 200
What do you
bottle
need?
caps just for that job. But now we will say interested in buying some
I
scrap
sure
metal.
am, Missy. What have you got for
I only
me?
have the one to sell, which is kind of perfect, because this will show you what I have. Say, just take all the
Well,
scrap
all
metal
right.
I have.
Let me count out your caps.
So now you get 10 caps plus 5 experience. So that is kind of a good way to gain some money and experience or whatever. And yeah, I don't actually have my mic turned up. I kind of have it a little further away from me. I could turn it up just a little bit, I guess. There we go. That should be just a little better. But now, again, if you blow up Megaton, of course, you lose this.
Well,
and there
back
is
to
another
work.
place that you can sell scrap metal to in the mall, pretty much. But you only get to trade it for like stim packs or Radex or something along those lines, which we will see later on too. But okay, so now let's go ahead and move this quest because instead of following his footsteps, we're not going to talk to Moriarty about Dad just yet. We're going to go on and do the Super Duper Mark quest first because we want to get these done. At least the first section of this done. But in order to make room for all the crap we're going to pick up at the Super Duper Mart, we need to go over here to our house. Now, here's the house that you can't get into without the key. Reach our head on in here. This is our apartment. This is Wadsworth, our butler, who I will eventually end up killing because he's annoying as hell. Now, the way I usually set this place up, now with this, in Fallout 4 you have to build a bobblehead stand. It's something that you actually build as a thing. Here, you just click it, and the bobbleheads that you have will pop up on there. So that's one way to deal with that. Now over here, the workbench, when we buy it, is going to pop up here. So I use this locker for anything that I'm going to use for the workbench. This is where I stick all the stuff that I collect. And for right now, we don't have a whole lot to put in it. But I'm going to go ahead and put my Nuka-Colas in here. And the vodka's in here. And I do believe that is it. Now, this locker over here is where I usually keep everything that I'm going to sell. So like if I'm doing quests and I don't really want to mess with going and selling stuff, or it's past 8 o'clock at night, this is where I keep all my stuff that I'm going to sell. Here, once Wadsworth gets the hell out of the way, in this desk here, I will usually keep all of my extra weapons. This is where I keep the weapons that I'm going to use to repair other stuff with. So we'll put those pistols down. And I think that's it for right now on that. This locker over here, or this filing cabinet over here, this is where I put all of my clothes or apparel. Now we're going to wear the armored vault suit. I'm going to put the eyeglasses down. I'm going to put the tunnel snake outfit down. We're going to put all of these jumpsuits in here because we'll use those to repair. And now, in most cases, I would normally keep one of these on me, again, because it raises your speech too. So if there was a speech check that I knew I was going to come up with and I just need a little bump on my speech too, I would normally keep this here. But since we're nowhere near any speech checks, we're nowhere near passing any speech checks, I'm just going to go ahead and put it down. And I will keep one of these because in case we come up with a lockpick skill, we can do this. I'm going to keep this because we need the signs +5 on that. And that is it for now. So now we will go ahead and sleep in the bed. All you have to do is sleep for an hour. And all my hit points are back. I get an autosave right there. We're now well rested. And we can head on out to the Super Duper Mart. So off we go on our first real quest. All of those little green lines down there, I'm going to assume one of the merchants.
Thirsty, partner. Try Moriarty.
All right, now this is Doc Hawk.
Ah, welcome, weary traveler. You look like a traveler in need of relaxation and the finest of chemical assistance. Well, wander no more, my good friend, for I am Doc Hoff, procurer of the finest of medical goods and chemical assistance. Now, how may I help you?
Okay, now Doc Hoff, he sells all the chemicals, which is like Stimpack, Psycho, Rad-X, all the drugs and all that stuff or whatever. There is Doc Hoff, Lucky Harris, Crow, and one more that I cannot remember the name of, but Doc Hoff sells the drugs and Stimpaks and all that stuff. Lucky Harris, I think, sells the weapons, so he will have weapons and all that stuff or whatever. Crow sells armor, and then I think it's Crazy Wolfgang who sells just general stuff. He's just got like basic mix match stuff or whatever. Each one of these guys, you can ask,
For a
"Can
price,
you repair
sure."
something for me?" Now his repair skill is only 15, so I would be a lot better repairing stuff myself than him. But each one of these guys has a different repair skill, so like the higher the repair skill, the better off you can get stuff repaired to. But usually it will cost you a lot of money if you want to have them repair stuff. But let's go on here.
Tell me what you
buy.
need.
Now,
and maybe
the
I've
other
got your
good thing
fix.
about these guys is they each have the schematics for one of the things that you can build at your workbench. So for 452 bucks, I can get the schematics for a nuka grenade. But in order to make a nuka grenade, I think I need an empty bottle. I need a Nuka-Cola Quantum, which we're not going to get for quite a while down the road. And I think something else. But yeah, so it's not really going to do us much good to do anything, and we've sold everything that we
Cheers,
want to
pal.
sell, so.
Watch yourself out there.
But now this is one of the places though that they need. Now, if like, say Doc Hoff is here, and I'm looking for Lucky Harry, I could kind of go in and sleep for a couple days and come out here, and there will probably be a new one out there.
Friendliest
You
town.
don't have a purified water, so we're not going to mess with him just yet. Let's go ahead and get in sneak mode, because we're about to have our first encounter up here. And it kind of sucks because unlike Fallout 4, now Fallout 4 where it says hidden up there, like those brackets on each side of it, in Fallout 4, the further apart they are, the safer you are. As they start squeezing together, you know something is trying to detect you or look for you. Here, that is not the case. I will show you just as soon as we run into something, which should be right up here. And of course, depending on how high your ski skill. Now you see how that just jumps straight to caution? That means something is looking for you, and now we're into danger. So here comes the dog. Go ahead and just vac and get it over with, since I forgot to put my armor on and we're fighting the dog in our underwear here. Take the dog meat, and yes, let's go ahead and put our armor on. That might be a pretty good idea to do. Okay, so I am now up to 14. Let's go ahead and repair a couple of these. See, I should have at least put a couple of these down, but we'll go ahead and put one of those on. So now we're at damage resistance 15, which isn't really all that bad. I mean, because this early in the game, that will hold us over pretty decently. But of course, because I've got the security helmet on, I can't wear my reading glasses or my pre-war hat, so we're also losing one to perception. But for right now, that's kind of a worthwhile trade. Now, let's see, did I already pass it? Or is it? Yeah, I believe that's it right up there. Now this over here is a water tower. These basically act kind of like the fire hydrants. Let's see, we're automatically back into caution again. But I'm pretty sure, yep, there's another dog over there. Which we might as well go ahead and take him out. It was kind of funny because when they first showed the outside shot there, because of the visor on my helmet there, I kind of thought I was wearing a metal bucket on my head. It kind of made it look like I was wearing a metal bucket on my head for a minute there. Now, we come up here to the valve. Now this will give me 20 hit points back, but it also gives me 9 rads. Which again, unlike in Fallout 4, where like if I get rads, I'll show you here, I'll go ahead and do this. See, now that gives me 20 hit points back. It shoots my shit up there. Now I'm back to full hit points, but I'm at like 18 rads, which we can check over here. See, now I'm at 24 rads. Now as that goes up, I will start losing stuff, like I'll start getting -1 endurance and -1 charisma and all that stuff or whatever. So, you know, you do have to be careful about your rads, but for right now it was kind of a worthwhile trade because since the rads don't affect your hit points, I want the hit points back and we can use some rads. And we're going to find a little bit of rad away in here. But technically, I usually try and save my radaways if I don't really need to use them. And this up here is the Super Duper Mart, so they weren't kidding about it being real far away. Now there's usually going to be a random encounter in front of the Super Duper Mart. This varies anywhere from like there being raiders up front that you have to take out to other stuff. See, there's somebody running away there. So that means that there probably is something there. So we could probably just let them go. We're going to switch over to our pistol now, actually, too, because we've opened up fast travel. Keep pushing the wrong button. Alright, that's Ben Canning.
That's how it's done, boys.
Taken out the raider, but we've made some noise, so we have to kind of be careful because if there's more raiders over here not using a silenced pistol, that could attract some attention. Now here's a roving trader outfit, which raises my barter by 5. Normally there's a hat that goes with that. And I don't really remember, like I said, it's been a while since I played this, but I don't really remember. But a lot of these named people wandering around, like either he was somebody that I probably could have bought and sold shit from, or he's somebody that has a little something that I could do to earn a little bit of experience points. Snatch up these Nuka-Colas from here. Go ahead inside. Now, of course, as you can see, there's a raider walking around up over there. This place is basically full of raiders. And you kind of want to try and avoid as much as you can. Now, you want to turn this intercom on. It's not 100% necessary, but it does play a little bit of a factor. And yes, a tin can. Now that might be something else that you need. That's something else that you need to craft something with. Close the door here. Now in here, there's your food. So we, as of now, have found the food that Moira was looking for. So we can just take off now if we want and go turn this in. We would get the experience and it would be, you know, the quest would be over or whatever. But since she asked us to also try and find medicine, we're going to go ahead and continue on and see if we can't do that. Snatch up a couple more stim packs. Here's another laser pistol and some energy cells. There's a bottle cap mine, which I will be using here pretty soon. More energy cells. We'll try and pick this just for the experience. Okay, so now, these laser pistols that you get aren't in very good condition, but that does 6 and that does 6. So at this point, either one of these is good. I've got 124 and 181. I have a little bit more 10mm ammo, so I'll probably just use it. You definitely kind of want to be careful going through here because hitting these carts could tip off a raider that you're here. And we definitely have to take it slow because our sneak skill is not that high, so the faster we go, the more noise we're going to make. And there are raiders that totally walk along up on that plank up there, so we want to not tip them off before we have to.
Who's out there? It's killing time! Ah!
That went actually rather smoothly. And we're back to hidden now, so he's the only one that we picked off. Now another thing is I usually pick up all the raider armor because it's kind of good to sell. The only problem is it's freaking heavy as shit too. Each one of them takes up 15 slots. So I usually try and repair it as soon as I can just to keep my inventory down. And I believe that is the one raider that would probably have spotted us before we got over to this point over here. Here is another bottle cap mine, some grenades,
Hearing those damn
let
noises.
that raider head off into the other room.
I got first dibs on the loot.
For now. Some more 10mm rounds. We're gonna have to deal with this.
Ha ha ha! It's killing time. No!
Alright. Now here is the super duper pharmacy key, which that's kind of important to grab. You can either grab it now or you can take the experience for picking the lock later. We'll go ahead and just snag the key for right now. Okay, now that's 3 bottle cap mines that we've got. Let her get a little ways away. And now you see we have to use this because you don't get to have this and your gun. Go ahead and throw one of those there.
Time for you to
Go ahead and throw another one of those over there. Switch back to our pistol.
Time's up, princess.
That should have killed. That should have done a hell of a lot more damage than it did. Use the stim pack real quick. Reload.
I'll tear your heart out.
Tap that head. Just take all your crap. Right, now, we do need a little bit of healing going on here. See, now, as you can see, the stim pack does 50 damage as my medicine skill, of course, gets higher. That will get more and more. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use another one so we can pretty much be full, almost full health. That should take care of everybody here. And unlike Fallout 4, bottle cap mines don't spray a bunch of caps, I don't think. Yeah. Because see, in Fallout 4, when the mines go off, they blow out a bunch of caps. .556 ammo for that assault rifle that we picked up before. And here is another skill book, Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor, which I can save this until level 4 when I get the double points for it, but for right now I might as well just do it. My barter's increased by 1 because these magazines do take up 2 slots in my inventory, so. I don't think there's a whole lot over here other than a steam gauge assembly, which you'll use to make like a railway rifle later on down the road. Alright, so we're rocking up on the ammo. Now, here is an easy terminal, which if your science is